Flosstube. So it's been 2 months since my last update. Sounds like a confession. It's been 2 months since my last confession, and I filmed May's update. It was great. It was all ready to go, and then I somehow deleted it, and I was so disheartened I went, screw it and stuff it and leave it till next month. So here I am. It's the 2nd of July now, so I'm going to give you a May update and June update. I'm in a new location. You can see my namesake up there, Pyrex. That's part of my collection. Which way? That way. Part of it. In the dining room. So, yeah, nice colourful backdrop anyway, and that's my Pyrex finish from a couple of months ago. So, I did Stitch Mania. Not as manic as some of you, but it was crazy enough. I did 3 new starts, and I'll get into it. Got some stuff to talk about. So, I started off with my dimensions. Now, I've never done the video with a laptop before, so this whole showing it to the camera thing is going to be trial and error. Anyway, so my dimensions kit. So I started this for the Cross Stitch and Discuss Sal, and this is a kit by, it's an artwork piece by Charles Wysocki. You know the style anyway, we've all seen this. This is this sort of American rural themes. There's a lot of jigsaw puzzles by this same artist. I remember I had one growing up and I loved it. So I found this kit in an op shop for $10. So I grabbed it, and then when the sale came up in Cross Stitch and Discuss, I was like, yeah, totally going to do that, and I'll do it for Stitch Mania. So that was my first piece for the month. And this is where I got up to. So it is on 18 count. I haven't worked on 18 count in a long time. Not for like 20 years or something like that. So it was interesting getting used to the small count, and it's just with 2 strands. And I started off using my size 24 bow and needles, which I love my bow and needles, but the 24s, it's too tight. And so I ordered some 28s, because that's what's all the guides say, use a size 28 when you're using 18 count. And I find those needles, they're so tiny. They're so tiny, they just slip through my fingers. I can't get a grip of them. So I ordered some 26s, and I've got them now. So I'll be using a 26 when I go back to this piece. It looks like I stitched really fast, because a lot of it is half stitches. All this, like the ground and the background and the hillsides. Ooh, my basting is sticking to my cardigan. Yeah, can you see that there? Yeah. So, let me see. Like all this up here, the top of the hill up here, all of that is just half stitches, and then the trees are full stitches. So, yeah, it made it stitch up really quick, but I really like it. It's a really fun stitch. I don't know, I just really like doing, I'm going to do this green tree now, and then you do that, and it feels like a little finish when you've sort of completed it. And I am back stitching as I go, which is, well, frankly, it's changed my life. It's no understatement. So, yeah, so that's where I am with the dimensions. And I love it, and I'm really looking forward to get back into that. Probably next week. And see how my size 26 needles go. So that's just 1 week. So I worked on that from the 1st of May to the 7th, I guess. So that was my first week. And then I did another new start, because it is Stitch Mania, and why not? And this is Battle of Hastings, which I showed you when I first got the kit. Which way? That way. It's weird working backwards, isn't it? Yeah, so this is a kit I bought off a French website. Now I made a note on my last video, because the fabric that came with it is actually too small. So I did write to them. I didn't hear back from them. Now I don't know, it may have gone to my junk folder and it's since been deleted, because I now get newsletters from them which go to my junk folder. So they may have responded. I won't say they definitely didn't respond, because they may have responded and it's gone to my junk mail, and I don't want to hassle them again about it, because it was just a neutral coloured linen. So I just bought some. It's not a huge piece, but the piece that was provided was too small. So just remember that if you are interested in buying these kits, that the fabric may be too small. Anyway, this is for my husband. He had a family member who was in the Battle of Hastings, apparently. There is some information about it somewhere, which I must read sometime. And this is from the Bayeux Tapestry. This is the section of part of the Bayeux Tapestry which depicts the Battle of Hastings. And this is a cross-stitch adaptation of that. Yeah, so I started that in the second week. And yeah, this is, I just bought some, just some neutral fabric to stitch it on, because that's what it was. Anyway, just some Cashile linen, because I was able to get it from my local Spotlight. No drama. So that's where I got in week 1. And yeah, I'm really happy with my progress on this one. Ooh, which way? Very happy with the progress on this. Now the supplied floss it's a wool darning floss. It's, you know, for repairing socks and cardigans and things. Let me just grab it. Sorry. So these are the floss that come with the kit, and they're a wool blend, I believe. It's all in French, so, but someone told me that I think that's what Lane stands for. Lane. And it's really nice. It's something different to stitch with, and I would totally recommend getting the kit simply because you get this included, and I don't know where else you'd buy it anyway. You'd have to buy it from overseas anyway. So I think it makes the piece really, because the original was, although the original isn't actually a true tapestry, it was done in wool. So this gives it more of an authentic look, I think. I think it really works for the piece. And they just, I mean, you could of course you could get a DMC colouring all of these, but you don't get a conversion with the chart anyway, so you'd have to work that out. So yeah, so that's the floss, and they're great. I'm using Thread Heaven with it, and it's just making it slide through beautifully. And yeah, so it's really nice to work with, and it's nice basic stitching too, you know. Sometimes you want to break from the fancy stuff, and just having a different floss is nice, and it's got meaning to it. And my husband really wanted this piece. This is something he requested, so I'm really happy to be doing this piece for him, and hopefully I'll have it done for his 40th in November. 40. So yeah, so it'll be a bit longer. That's the full piece of fabric, which I think I've measured out pretty much right. So not huge, and that's a week's worth, so it's not going to take months and months, although I do have 6 WIPs, and you know, fitting everything is fun. I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so that's Battle of Hastings, and then I did another sale. Starting on the it started on the 14th of May, and this is for Cross Stitch and Discuss as well. And it was an AAN Alessandra Adelaide sale. So I had this pattern. Sorry about the colouring in. That was me sort of playing around with changing floss and whatever. So this is from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I don't remember the issue at the moment, but I can put that down below. I have a digital subscription, so this I just print off. Yeah, so I thought I'd do this. And this is sort of a companion piece to AAN Arabesco, which I completed a couple of months back, which I'm going to make into a cushion for our bed, and I thought I could make this for a cushion as well, and it would coordinate. Different, but you know, different but the same. Yeah, so I played around with it. The original is on turquoise fabric with white and gold, and I haven't worked on coloured fabric except for navy a long time ago. So I decided to do white cachille, because that's what the other Alessandra Adelaide piece is done on. White cachille, and then I wanted to try out some specialty floss. Something that, since, you know, Flosstube and cross-stitch groups, you know, I'm total FOMO and I want to get in on. So, yeah, so this is my first try at something that's not DMC, or, well, apart from Battle of Hastings, I suppose. So I picked out some Weeks dye works, and I'm a bit underwhelmed, let me just say, with the colours. Okay, let me talk about this for a bit. I find it really hard when you don't have access to the floss in a shop. I find it really hard to select what to buy online, because the little swatch images you see, they're really not true to colour. I know they're not, because I know that what I'm showing you isn't probably showing true to colour either on the screen. You know, nothing is like true life. And when you do a floss toss, you want to have the floss there to really see how it all coordinates together. And you can't do that online. And even when you're scrolling through these images and they'll have these little thumbnails of a thing, you can't put them together. They're over here, and it's not on your fabric, and the lighting is different. And so it's really hard. I really would love to try, you know, Water Lilies by Karen. I'd love to try Dinky Dyes. I'd love to try Fiberlicious and Moe's and all these wonderful things I hear about. I can't justify just going and buying a whole lot of stuff. I'm not a stash hoarder. I buy specifically for projects. I wouldn't want to buy these things without the chance of ever using them. And I would like a better way of being able to try some of these things. Maybe a grab bag thing would be an idea. I'd love to hear people's suggestions about that. Maybe floss of the month. I don't even know how much these cost. I'd be interested anyway, because this piece is sort of a bit underwhelming, I think. I mean, you know, Alessandra does beautiful designs, but I think, you know, a specialty thread really makes them. I did the last piece I did was my first time using a DMC variations or variegations, I'm not sure which one it was, and DMC satins, and that was something new. And this is something new too, because it is Weeks Dye Works. But this turquoise is, it's meant to have a variation in it, but really I can't see variation in that turquoise. And the golden rod, the yellow that I chose, is not really, it's not the right contrast with the turquoise that I planned. Anyway, I'm not going to restart it. I'm just going to finish it as it is, and then I will do another Alessandra in the future, because I really enjoy doing her pieces. So when I do another one, I'll try some more. You know, I'd really love to try them, but I just don't know how to get myself into trying them without knowing what I'm buying. Do you know what I mean? Same with hand-dyed fabrics. I'd love to try them. I'm not sure what I'd stitch on them, probably AANs or something. But anyway, that was a week's worth on Spring Butterfly. I won't ramble about that anymore. Then I went back for the rest of May, and I worked on my Saber Stitches. You'll know this one. Doesn't really show you what the project's going to be there, but so this is what I've done so far. Is that all in the screen? Yeah. So what I worked on, look, it took me forever this month to get anything done, but I just worked on this here, this motif band across the bottom here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, block 7. So I'm lagging a bit behind. I know Carolyn's up to like block 13. We both started at the same time. We were both doing this piece in the same week of our rotation of 4 WIPs, and I just lagged behind. I don't know why. I like this piece. I really like my colour selection. I'm really pleased with how that worked out, and if you've seen my previous videos, you'll see the bit of the journey I've been on with my colour selection with this. It's sort of swapped and changed a bit. My highlights have anyway. And I'm really happy with it, and I think the stitching looks good. You get some really good detail. I don't know, I got a bit sort of with it. I think just the end of May was so busy for me too, because it was my son's 3rd birthday and my mother-in-law was here and everything just went a bit crazy, haywire busy, and I sort of didn't have the time to stitch. Why did all these things get in the way? Birthdays, family, work, so boring. No, I don't mean that at all. It was great. But, yeah, and then I watched Mackenzie's, the lovely Array. I watched her video of her finished project and I thought, oh, yeah, I want to get in and do that. I want to finish mine off. You know, I think she was one of the first to really give it a go, and she went in and did some things with the pearl cotton that she sort of wished she hadn't in the end. The finished products look fantastic, you know, but hearing people's progress with it and the things that they've tried and the things they do differently, and it really adds to your own piece. And I'd really love to get this finished. So, and it's the aim of this is to have it for my mum. It won't be for her birthday because her birthday's in November, and no way is that getting done by November. But whenever it gets finished, it'll be for mum anyway, and I'll make it into a wall hanging. I think it'll be the perfect piece to try doing a wall hanging, and yeah, so that's where Saber Stitches is at. I'll just show you what one thing I did do. Did I do it this month or last month? Anyway, I've finally finalised my highlight colours, and I've got my beads for it as well. I'll just show you. So this is the base colour I'm using, which is 3750. And then my highlight colours, they're done in satin, but I've also bought the regular cotton to do my beading with. So the highlight colours are these three. So in satin, so there'd be an S3685, S434 and an S909. These are the, like I said, these are the regular cotton floss. But I'm going to use these ones to attach the beads because I've heard people have absolute nightmare with invisible thread. I'm not even going to try it. I'm going to use, and it was actually Mackenzie was talking about that in a video too when she's doing the red, Mirabilia red, and how she wished she'd just use regular cotton. So I'm just going to use regular cotton, but I'm going to use it with the same colour. So I got my Mill Hill beads as well for that. So you can read the numbers if you're interested. And this was off a conversion sheet that I found, which gave, I made sure I picked highlight colours that I could get a satin in. Well, obviously it came in regular cotton, that I could also get it in satin, and then I could also get a coordinating bead the same colour. So I planned it out. Oh, there we are. So those are my beads. So that's, it's going to look, I'm really pleased with the colours. And it's on 25 count mushroom Lagana. It's for you, Carolyn. So that's that. So I think I worked on that. I think that band took me about 2 weeks. It's pretty bad. But I took about a week off stitching while people were here and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and then I did a week on this here, which is my green tree. This is one of those kits from China. I got this some time ago. I started it August last year. So this is, I'm doing it with the one piece down here, not the three. So I've been doing the parking method for the last 2 weeks of rotation on this, and this is where I'm at. See that there? And I did this month, I think I did these 2 columns. I work this way on my scroll frame. So yeah, these 2 columns here, 2.5 columns. And that's pretty good progress, I guess, for me anyway. Yeah, this is just a nice piece to go to and just do parking and just sort of get into the rhythm of it, you know. So that's where that is. There's no time frame on that. That will go on the wall over there in our lounge room when it's done, whenever that is. Yeah, so that was that. So then we're into June now. I think I worked on that for about a week in June. I think I worked on Saber Stitches for about a week, 2 weeks, but not really solidly, and then a week or so of, maybe even 2 weeks of, I don't know. Anyway, Then we come to the 22nd of June, and there was another sale. So that's 4 sales, because Saber Stitches is a sale too. So, yeah, I'm a sale girl. Then I started on the 26th of June. It was the Freezing into a Puddle, or the Summer Winter Sale Challenge, which is on Cross Stitch and Discuss. And I'm doing this, which is the Hawaiian wedding sampler, and this is for my husband and I, who got married in Hawaii. Yay! Back in, I have to look at my I have to look at my sampler to see when we got married. 2011, and we eloped. Well, everyone knew we were going. We just didn't invite anyone. Yeah, we'd been engaged for like 2 years, but we ran off on our own, and it was great. So, yeah, so the Hawaiian wedding sampler. So I've been doing that now for 8 or 9 days. So I'm almost done. I've made adjustments according to how I... Samplers I find a bit funny how they have just letters and numbers that don't really mean anything. I understand the concept of a sampler, but I didn't want to have those elements on my wedding piece. So I've removed the alphabet, and I've added in a row, a line, sorry, of text which says Oahu, Hawaii, which is where we got married. And I've added in some of the flowers either side. And yeah, so it's a nice easy stitch, because text, I mean, you know, it fills up space pretty quick doing all that back stitching. And yeah, I'm pleased with it. It's just on a crew cachille linen. Well, no, not a crew, sorry. It's called Light Sand. That's right. I ordered specifically, once again, you can't tell what it's going to look like, so I just, on 1, 2, 3 stitch, I just ordered Light Sand. I wanted it to look like the beach. So, so that's what I've done there. So I've just got to, you know, finish the band of the lei up here. This is the lei that my husband wore around his neck, was made out of these leaves. I really should look up what they're called. And then my lei was made out of the white flowers, which is the traditional Hawaiian wedding leis. And we left them on the beach. It's very romantic. Couldn't bring them back to Australia being plants, so we sort of put them on the beach and left them there. So this is like bringing it home. So it's been a bit of a funny one. Because I've rearranged it, I've done a terrible job at centering this. It's awful. Now, I don't know if you can tell. Well, you probably can. Of course you can. This line here, which is, don't ask me to say it, in Hawaiian, be one in love, is not centered. And I'm not happy about it. So I'm going to frog that line and move it 4 stitches that way. And that means that this little here on the flower will not touch the text there, which is, because I don't like that. Yeah, so it's imperfect but perfect. Anyway, so that should be finished in probably, it would be finished tonight if I only had that to do, but I'm going to restitch that. So I'm going to give myself 2 days and then that'll be finished. So that'll be really nice. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I'm going to give this a go at framing myself. I've been watching Tara's video on framing, Tara C, sorry, and I'm going to give framing a go. I'm going to get myself some foam core boards. I'm going to get some pins. I'm going to pin. It's going to be great. So I'm looking, probably just get a frame that's like a whitewash or something, you know, sort of beachy look. And yeah, so that'll be nice. And that'll be done in plenty of time for our anniversary, which is September. So yay, I'm meeting the deadline. Woohoo! Now, I'll do a little bit about planning. So that's where I'm at to now with my WIPs. Now, as we go into July, my plans are to, well, finish my wedding sampler. I would like to finish one more piece in July because I've got another sale. Sales are really motivating, they're great. I've got another sale starting in September, and at the moment I've got 6 WIPs. Finish my Hawaiian sampler and I'll have 5. I like to have 4. I find that works with my monthly rotation perfectly. So that means that I'm going to have 5, which means I need to finish 2 by September to then add that in as my 4th. So I'm thinking I'd like to get Battle Hastings done for my husband's birthday in November. And I'd like to just get the butterfly done because it's a brainless stitch, you know, it's just cross. So I think if I can just maybe just focus on those for the rest of the month, see if I can at least finish Butterfly, and then maybe work on Battle Hastings a little bit more in August and leading up to September when the next sale starts. Now the September sale, I'm just going to show you what I've got, even though it's not till September, because this was a bit of a, this was a RAK. Yay! I was very fortunate. I ordered, I bought Teresa Winslow, Mermaid. I bought this kit on eBay. It was pre-owned, but it was unopened. And I was very excited. I opened it and it has beautiful floss in there. This beautiful floss, all lovely and pre-sorted, and some lovely even weave fabric, really nice. No chart. No chart. Had other, you know, it's got the colour chart, colour code information in there, but no, no chart. And I was just like, damn it. And it was a bargain price, and it wasn't the seller's fault because it was unopened. So it really did look like, who's it, Leisure Arts forgot to put it in. And because it's discontinued, it's out of print, I did email Teresa Winslow, I emailed Leisure Arts. They told me that it was not with them anymore. They weren't licensed to it anymore. It was someone else. Anyway, I posted on Cross Stitch and discussed this problem and said, how have you all gone in trying to get the charts off the companies, you know? And then the lovely Lynn said, hey, I've got it, you can have it, I'll just send it to you. So she sent me the chart, which she bought, you know, as a chart rather than a kit. You know, like this is the picture from the kit and this is the picture from the chart. Same thing, except this tells you to do French knots. This tells you to do beading. Awesome. Hate French knots, love beads. So this is great. So this tells you what bead colour you need, which is a Mill Hill Pearl Petite glass bead. So I've got them on order. So yay, great. So Lynn, thank you so much. You're the sweetest person in the world. She's all the way in Ireland, and she said, I'll send it to you. You don't pay me postage, nothing. Wouldn't accept any money for it. What a nice person. Made my year. Really excited about that. So pumped to start this. I've seen so many people doing Teresa Winslow, the carousels and dragons, and I'm not someone into fantasy things, but yeah, I really like the look. I like the colours. Something different. And this is going to end up in our bathroom, in our guest bathroom. I think it's a good theme. Carolyn, your mini bath time mermaid kind of gave me the idea of that. I'll admit I'm stealing your mermaid in the bathroom idea. So that will be September. So that's really exciting. And I think that's it. Wow, I'm actually done. That wasn't as epic as I thought. Anyway, yeah, so I hope you like my new background. I hope you like my WIPs. And happy stitching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.